Hello, welcome to the next lecture. In lecture 11, that is actually this topic called action prediction. So action prediction is an AI technique where we predict the action of a player given a series of events. So without further ado, let's move on to the next slide. So we usually find ourselves wanting to guess what the player will do next. So it is actually very common to have an AI that will want to predict what the players will do next. So examples here will be which passage the player will take. Right. So maybe there's a game where perhaps something like a Counter-Strike games where there are some passages in the game. So you want to predict where the players will move to given its current location. And it's also very common for you to predict what the weapons that the player will select given the selections of weapons that it has, and also which route it will attack from given the location that they are in. So there are many examples where prediction is very important in games, and for today's lecture we are going to focus on action predictions that is specifically used in fighting game. So the foundation of this lecture will come from probability theory. So let's look at a specific example in fighting games. So in the fighting game, the problem can be stated this way. Suppose in a simplified fighting games, you notice that the character can perform one of the following strikes. So you can punch, you can perform low kicks, and you perform high kicks. So all characters can perform these three strikes. And what do you want to get from this game? So you want to predict the player's next strike given his previous two strikes. So let's say in the fighting game, the players made several strikes, and you want to figure out you want to predict what is the next strike given the previous two strikes that you have seen. So you can actually formulate this problem in this way. So let's say we define event A as the first strike of the previous two strikes, and event B is the second strike of the previous two strikes, and C is the player's next strike. So what this means is that A is the when you check the previous two strikes, A is the earliest strike among the previous two, and B comes after A, and C comes after B. So our goal here is to be able to predict the next strike, which is event C, given the strikes A and B. So before we talk about the details of how we can predict the actions that the players will do next, we are going to review some basic terminologies in set theory. Here you can see there's a Venn diagram with a universe. So a universe is usually denoted by this capital epsilon. And in this universe, there is two sets which are A and B. And these numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these numbers are the elements in the set. So here are some of the terminologies for the set, from the set theory. So capital epsilon is the universe, and A union B, right, is the union operator, and here we have an intersection operator, and there we have this this variable n subscript A, and n subscript A is actually a number of elements in set A, right? So now here comes the questions for attendance purpose. So I want you to tell me what is the value of n epsilon, what's the value of n A union B, what's the value of n A intersect B. So you're going to put the answer for this in the MLIS section where I prepared for you to put in your answers. Right? So the answers for this has to be based on the elements in this Venn diagram. Now let's do a quick review on probability theory. So again, we have the same Venn diagram, and here is some of the basic probabilities that you have seen before. So we define a probability of event A is equal to n subscript A divided by n subscript D epsilon. So in this case, we have 5 elements, right? So 5 elements is actually the number of n epsilon, and then n of A is actually how many elements you have in set A, and then you just do a division. Then the probability of a combined event, which is this A union B, is denoted as n subscript A union B divided by n universe epsilon, right? So this one will give you the probability for A union B. And if you want to find the conditional probability, so the probability of getting the event A given event B can be is defined as such, which is n subscript A intersect B divided by n subscript D. Now here are the 2 questions for this review. So I want you to calculate for me what is the value of A intersect B, and what is the value of what's the probability of A union A intersect B, and what is the probability of getting B given that A has occurred. So please write this answer in the MLIS exercise section for attendance. Right. So now here is the solution to the action prediction problem that we have presented before. So the solution is, first we need a few variables. We need to store the data for the player's strike. So here, the first thing we do is we prepare the storage for strike frequency data. So the strike data consists of these 3. The first one is n total, which I define it as the frequency of all players' strike so far. That means this value is going to store all the strike that you have observed from the player so far. Then we have another number value, which is n subscript of A equals to x intersect B equals to y. So this one is defined as the frequency for A equals to x intersect B equals to y for all x and y, where the x and y is a type of strike. Right, and the next one will be n of events A equals x intersect B equals to y and C equals z, and this is defined by the frequency for all A equals to x and B equals to y and C equals z for all x, y, z, where x, y, and z is a type of strike. Okay, so we need these 3 variables for our purposes later on.